as we load into the quarterfinals.
I will say, BrianYi collecting a lot of points over the last couple of weeks. Some might say that the weeks were a little bit light. You didn't have big hitters like Eris, like Flacoco, like Mots, competing. Last week was Plat Fight. The week before, a lot of people were just kind of taking a break. So it seems. That being said, BrianYi is not someone you are allowed to take lightly. You have to respect them, start to finish. As we go into the game, we have seen BrianYi taking advantage of confirms more and more. Also, a big part of the game that has started to rear its head out are gonna be some of these parries. Shaggy gets a lot out of the parry, so if he does land one, that's an easy 20 to 60 even points of heat. That being said, Flacoco doing a really good job of just forcing the Shaggy out into off the stage. That's not a real sentence, but able to push Shaggy off stage, giving them a little bit more control, forcing Shaggy to only use aerial options. That being said, BrianYi using, like I said, using that parry and able to punish massively.
Very, very well done. We've been seeing that parry used more and more as the weeks go on as people perfect their time. As Flacoco now potentially looking for a game ender here. Not able to follow up. BrianYi very, very good at the evasive dodging. Does exhaust himself in mid-air, but is able to follow through just enough to push Flacoco back, not letting him capitalize on it. Flacoco going for the killing blow here, but does unfortunately whiff it on this occasion. BrianYi able to stay alive now. 120 on the heat levels. Flacoco starting to build up as well at 100, and Flacoco taken out by an uppercut, and now BrianYi is going to be 2 points up. 5 minutes 20 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. BrianYi yet to lose a life as this goes on. Flacoco looking for that hit, but gets punished. Able to survive the downward spike barely. Both these guys now dancing on the edge of the screen. A very low to the border battle going on here. Neither able to find the final blow. Flacoco finally getting elimination on Brian. But this match is going to continue as Brian continues to storm away with momentum.
Brian doing a really good job of using that parry as we watch him use the other application of those bumper or the shoulder buttons, dodging out of the way, punishing up with that Sair. I was gonna say that BrianYi really seems like they're playing on autopilot, just like a little bit. We saw multiple times, even though they were in burnout, dodging, trying to get a dodge attack out, and ultimately getting punished for it, but not punished enough for Flacoco to take a game. BrianYi huge runaway victory game one. And we see Flacoco going in, making the first statement. That dashback was nasty. Oh my god. Calling out the fact that BrianYi was going to try to counterattack and able to punish that simple move with the sword that Finn has. One of the biggest attributes, one of the biggest advantages that Finn has is how big those hitboxes are. As we see a damage disparity of about 40. Putting, honestly, Shaggy into possibly kill range. It's one read. A huge trade from Brian, taking advantage, getting control of the corner. Now all of a sudden Flacoco's in trouble and is unable to get back on stage.
Yeah, Flacoco's resources would have been all used up. BrianYi doing a very, very good job to edge guard there. Flacoco now going to try and answer back, potentially try and even up the stocks, but not able to follow it up. And BrianYi is able to stay alive at 99, which is very much at kill range for Flacoco's skill level. As we've seen Flacoco pull off some absolutely gnarly combos. There it is in the top right. Flacoco able to get that life back on Brian at only 26 hits. So not really that much damage taken. Still a relatively even one, but does rely on Flacoco to maintain that momentum. Brian has been able to break through the defenses and increase that damage, bringing him up to 53. Flacoco answering back with a combo of his own, bringing Brian to 37 at 5 minutes 15 on the clock. So these two back and forth.
Huge back and forth for sure. BrianYi going for some unfruitful reads. Flacoco with the patience just runs through Brian, punishing the parry. That being said, isn't able to get much more than just some damage, while Brian able to dodge, attack into a kill, connecting that upper attack and that empowered side B, doing actually a decent amount of damage, breaking through the armor here as they dance around each other. Flacoco closes. Oh, not quite able to close out either attempt at the stock using the backpack. BrianYi super aware, dodging out of both attacks. That being said, Flacoco took offense to the fact that BrianYi didn't accept his fate. Now, basically at even, it's anybody's game.
Brian now trying to get that momentum back, is able to break through Flacoco, looking for potentially an elimination there. We saw the platform starting to move to that outwardmost position. It was very, very good for Brian. He doesn't need it though. Hits a dirty uppercut and is able to eliminate